Welcome to Conversations with Marius Dosinescu. On this podcast, I sit down and interview the top SEO and e-commerce experts to bring you the latest insights and strategies for improving your online presence. Whether you're just starting out in the world of SEO or you're seasoned pro looking to stay up to date on the latest trends, this is the podcast for you. So, if you're ready to take your website to the next level and learn from the best in the industry, be sure to subscribe to Conversations with Marius Dosinescu. You can find us on aysa.ai, where you'll also find a wealth of useful information and amazing podcasts to help you grow your online business. Hello everybody, welcome to Conversations with Marius Dosinescu, with me. It's already the third episode, and I'm very happy to announce that we have good feedback from clients, from customers, from friends, from family, and so on. So we continue, and today I invited a very special guest, a friend of mine, Mihai Vinatoru. He's the co-founder and CEO at Digital Workforce SEO agency. Short for DWF, right?
DWF.
Hello,
yes,
Mihai.
Marius, thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, Marius. Thank you for having me.
You are very, very welcome. So, Mihai is the co-founder and CEO at Digital Workforce, and they have the offices in Bucharest. I think it's one of the best SEO agencies, not the best. Mihai will have to enlighten us. He established the business in 2013, and he now at the Digital Workforce, they have over 850 clients, brands.
Actually, that's the historical number. Actually, right now we have 200 active projects.
So basically now you are managing around 200
200 active projects SEO for 200 different SEO clients.
More impressive is the team of SEO professionals he is leading together with Sorin, his co-founder, his partner. They have over 130 SEO professionals. So this is very, very impressive.
Yes, that's right.
Congratulations, Mihai. And also he started in this field as network administrator. And after that, they started the agency, and they had success from the start. So let's dive in. Mihai, welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Nice to be here, Marius. As I say, thank you for having me, and good luck with this project. I've seen your previous episodes, and I invite everyone to check out your recordings and really give you feedback on what they would like to see further on. So a few words about me, as you mentioned. But additionally, towards what you've mentioned, I'm also a father of 3 kids. I have one boy of 7 years, one girl of almost 5 years, and another little boy of 3 years old. So I'm pretty busy from this point of view. If you want parenting advice, we can also start another discussion on another day.
I think it will be a good idea to make a podcast between fathers.
Okay, that's a very complicated issue. I feel more comfortable talking about SEO all day long, but don't ask me that. Okay. From a professional perspective, I have a background in web development, in digital marketing, and for 10 years now, I'm 100% involved in this agency that I co-founded with Sorin, with my partner, and we have gradually grown. As for the moment, we think we are the largest SEO agency in Romania from every KPI you can imagine, in terms of projects, in terms of team, in terms of revenue, in terms of everything else. So I would be happy to share from my experience with you in the following minutes or in the following hour. I don't know exactly how much time we'll have at our disposal. And I'm here also to answer after the talk will be posted on YouTube. I'm happy to answer the questions your audience might have on comments.
That's great. Actually, I've met Mihai and his partner many years ago. They just started, I think, when we worked together and we collaborated. It was, I think, you were 5 or 6 people in.
Yes, I remember you were one of our first customers, and we had a team of less than 10 people. And I really liked your style because you are also very passionate about this topic, this activity. You were one of those clients that that were real dialogue partners. You had someone to talk with, not as usually happens. You go there, present, and there are many occasions where the client is not interested in what you are doing. It's only interested in the result. You were one of those guys that were interested also in what we are doing and how we are doing it, and
because I'm very passionate about the SEO domain, and also I'm passionate about organic traffic and how to get organic traffic or brand awareness, all the things that are related to organic and natural traffic. I know a little bit about your history, but can you tell us the story behind the success? A lot of people are only seeing the moment,
the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly, they don't see the effort, that the tip of the iceberg, as you said. Let's make a short story about your agency and your professional background.
I think there was something related with our previous experience, both with mine and with my partners, that we, until this project, we never actually scaled up any other business. We had previous businesses, but we never scaled them up. And when we started this, we put as a small constitution, as a small guiding points for us. And the first one was not to be afraid to delegate responsibility to other people. So we employed the first employee that we had received full responsibilities in managing the clients, in taking care of the relation with the clients. Also the second one, the third one, the fourth one. Of course, we had some bad decisions in this process, but we actually came back to the original creed of actually delegating responsibility. That really helped us get a lot of responsible people around us that saw we trust them, and that somehow forced them also to deliver at their full capacity. Also, one other thing that I'm sure was super important in our growth was our openness towards other agencies and towards other partners in the field in Romania, but not only here in our country. Basically, since the first year or on the second year, we struggled to get in touch with similar people, with similar agencies that had similar problems. And we were very open. We told them what we are doing and how we are doing it. And we also received super valuable feedback, not really as advices, but as people were showing to us how they are doing it. So we learned from their experiences.
So basically, the success is related to the people. You have given the power to the people. You have given the decision power to them, and you think this is the key to success.
Yes, but with one small disclaimer. You give the power and you give the decision, but you have to always be in control and to have to always be informed on what is happening in the company. It's not a delegation through abandon I don't know, you abandon the decision to your people, but you are permanently as their background. You are there to support them, and you have the tools and the ability to see when they are going to a bad solution, or when they are choosing a bad outcome.
So basically, a good management combined with trust. I think it was a good idea. Myself, I had a lot of problems along the time to give the power to not because I'm drunk with power, but the trust is a very important thing. And sometimes I couldn't trust people can do it better than me. And I think I made a mistake in terms of that. After a while, I learned about this, and things started to go very smoothly. So don't be afraid if we have to give an advice. Don't be afraid to delegate, but keep control through different tools. Okay. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about SEO. I'm always going, in the meetings, and I'm talking about SEO like everybody knows what SEO is. I have this problem, and but let's talk about SEO. What is it? Let's use a very simple explanation, like explaining to a fifth grade child.
Sure. So as I'm sure most of our audience it's already aware of, SEO stands from search engine optimization. Basically, it refers to all the activities, all the things you are doing in order to get better visibility in Google search results for the relevant keywords, relevant terms people are searching in your industry. If you are selling shoes, running shoes, or something like this, the whole point of SEO is for your website to rank on the first results when people are searching for this type of products. Basically, that's what SEO stands for, and
that's a very nice and simple explanation. That's great. Usually, I'm going deeper into details more and more, but I think your explanation is great for all the people. I'm not saying people are not aware about SEO and what it stands for, but I think a good explanation might cover, like yours, might cover all the bases. Okay, what about the SEO industry? Can you tell us how the industry changed in the past 5 years, and how do you see it evolving in the next 5 years? So let's make.
Let's imagine we are in the tipping point right now. We're straight in the middle. So there are a lot of things that change in the last 5 or 6 or 7 years, even in the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, there are a lot of things super fast moving here in the industry. But one of the most important that I will say, if we are referring to this time frame, would be the big shift towards mobile. I mean, I think 5 years ago, mobile was not yet such a big chunk of the overall traffic, and most of the SEO efforts were still oriented towards the desktop versions of the website. I think that would be a big thing. Also, in terms of how smart Google became compared to 5 years ago, there are a lot of improvements. There are a lot of updates in their algorithms, such as BERT, that allowed them to better understand the intent behind each search query, meaning that you can't simply optimize like you did 5 years ago or 10 years ago, taking specific keywords into consideration. You have to be your content in the website really has to answer the problem or the intention behind that search query. Another important thing that I think happened in this time frame was the let me pick something that really
we saw a lot of improvement. I saw also.
So one other thing that I'm just thinking about big trends, and another one that I also want to emphasize on was the ability to access data as data related to keywords, data related to how people are actually interacting with your website through Google services. 5 years ago, you could have still seen a lot of keywords in Google Search Console. You could get a lot of search volume information, a lot of CPC information from Google. Nowadays, those things are quite hard to do, and the results Google is providing are really messed up with a lot of disclaimers and a lot of things that don't really help you in getting a clear understanding on your industry.
What about in terms of trends? What about video in these past 5 years? How this change? How does Google now taking in consideration video in comparison with the past?
So obviously, the video consumption grew exponentially in the last 5 years. A lot of people are going directly to platforms that are hosting videos, that are built around videos. But to be honest, directly in Google, you have the possibility to check in Google Search Console the traffic a website receives via normal web results, via images, and via videos. I think from all our clients, for none of them, and also for the brands we are auditing and looking to start a collaboration with them, we have not seen important numbers in this type of content. Okay, so video content directly in Google is, I wouldn't say it's a big thing right now.
Okay, but is this influencing the SEO metrics? Is Google taking in consideration videos and content, multimedia content in general?
So officially, Google says he's not interested about the format of the content, but rather about the content of the content. I mean, okay, video content might help you get better time on page or better metrics from all kind of tools that you are using. But actually, I would say that from an SEO perspective, plain text is still the best option you can have. If you are building video content, I think it's better to go to specialized platforms such as YouTube, such as TikTok, or such as other environments, and to build up a presence there. But to create video content and to publish on your website, hoping that that content will get more visible, I think it's more effort than the reward.
Okay. In terms of user experience in the past 5 years, have you seen a change in this area? I mean, is Google taking in consideration more the user experience now than in the past?
What's super important and that happened in the last 5 years is that Google actually started to be more transparent about this whole concept of user experience. They introduced dedicated reports in Google Search Console towards user experience, towards how people are interacting with the website. This really helps the webmasters and the agencies to do things in a more structured way and to measure the impact of them. Now, regarding the actual impact of having good KPIs on those terms in ranking, we did notice improvements, but especially when we jumped from 0 or less than 5% user experience in Google Search Console towards 80 or 90 or even 100%. So in the middle, not so much. But when we had this type of differences, so websites that really ranked super poor from this perspective and then changed a lot and became super responsive, it had a measurable impact, I would say 15% or something like this in the overall performance, SEO performance.
Very, very interesting. What about the future? So we talked about the last 5 years. Let's talk about the future. Now, the moment and the future, what will happen in the future, in your opinion?
I think we will continue to see more and more, to hear and see more and more about the artificial intelligence. I'm sure some of you might be aware of the newest sheriff in town about the ChatGPT tool released by OpenAI. I think this is only a preview, a public preview of what the AI is actually capable of. And I'm sure that Google and the other search engines already have even more advanced tools at their disposal in order to better understand user intent. So in the future, I would expect that those algorithms get better and better at understanding user intent, and the actual keywords used by people to be less and less important in the SEO optimization. Of course, continuing on this line of thought, I am also expecting a new wave of challenges for Google and also for us as users in order to make to choose between information. There will be a lot of content generated automatically by AI, and we will have and Google and we as users will have a hard time actually choosing our sources of information. I'm also expecting in the future to see less and less impact of link building in SEO. This is something that Google is saying and it's emphasizing for a lot of time now. And I think they are going to crack it rather sooner than later. So basically to have websites to rank, even if they don't have backlinks, which nowadays is still quite hard. And especially in some industries, I would say that it's impossible in order to get on the top positions in Google without backlinks. But in the future, I see this signal as being less and less of important.
Okay, so like conclusion, Google will put up a fight, will not wait for AI to take over everything, or Bing, or
definitely. They have a lot of things to defend. They are making billions right now, so they have to defend their business model.
I know. Actually, it will be very interesting fact to study because they introduced in the search results, they introduced at one point, there were only 2 ads on the top. After that, they include 3, and after that 4, and the local results, and so on. So the organic results were pushed down more and more. It will be very interesting if you know how much money they made only by adding a new position in Google Ads.
I think there are some studies around this, but I'm not aware of the results.
Yeah, it will be very interesting.
And talking about local, you remind me about something that also changed in the last 5 years, and I expect to change even more in the future. And I'm talking here about the integration of local results in Google. It was something very sparse, very rare to see 5 years ago, but now you see them quite often, and I expect to see them even more often in the future, as Google will definitely want to get his results to be as personalized as possible and to help each and every person, no matter of the context, no matter of the location, where they are, to help them with the appropriate results. So this is another thing that I expect to develop in the future.
So they will insist a lot on local SEO results.
Yep. Especially when they will identify you as being on the road, as searching from the mobile phone, and for some kind of search intents, you will definitely get more and more local results.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And I think this year, at the end of last year, it was the beginning of a new SEO era from my point of view. I really think ChatGPT, OpenAI, and everything that happens with artificial intelligence is the new way of doing things. And as a matter of fact, a lot of people are seeing this as a war between SEO, between Google, between Bing, and so on. But a lot of people will lose their jobs because of artificial intelligence. I really think we are on a tipping point, like you said, of change. From now on, people will work differently, people will think differently, people will evolve differently because of this AI. It will save a lot of time, and I think it will create a lot of new jobs in the future. So, but let's because we talked about artificial intelligence, let's go a little bit deeper and let's talk about how artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithm can help SEO for you, like an agency or the market in general.
We are super curious to explore these new opportunities that were have been brought up by this new tool, and we actually started to play with their API 2 or 3 weeks ago. During the the New Year's Eve. I was on Skype with my colleagues from the development team, and we were trying to find creative ways of integrating this AI in our processes. And one way we've found to be quite lucrative at the moment was to integrate the AI as an assistant in our content writing process. What I mean by that is that we usually start by, for creating articles on our client's blog, we start from a topic that we want to build the article around. And we built this assistant that we are asking for tips in different stages of our content creation process. For example, we ask the assistant for tips on how to write a more engaging title for this topic, and we scripted it such as to offer us 10 or 8 or 10 title ideas. Of course, the content writer can choose one of those titles, can modify it, and then go to the next step. The next step is to ask to provide the AI with some context, with some key ideas that we want to express in the article. And then the AI assistant is suggesting a structure for the new article. So what will be the chapters, what will be the subtitles on the new article. So it's basically helping us to build a structure. Then it's also used in the actual writing process. When the content writer is starting to write on the on each specific chapter, the AI can be asked to suggest a more simpler phrasing, or to expand on the idea that the content writer is actually writing, so on and so forth. In this hybrid mode, we are managing to we've managed to develop a beta version of an internal tool that we are hoping to really help us increase the quality of the content that we provide, and also the efficiency. So basically to be able to write better articles in less time.
That sounds amazing. So you adapted very quickly. Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
What about, have you got a chance to make some tests? There are some rumors out there saying Google will, OpenAI actually will develop a signature in the text.
Yes.
And also that Google will take in consideration this kind of content and mark it as spam.
Yes.
What do you think about it?
We've played with this type of tools. There are actually some pretty good ones out there already built on and specifically targeting content generated by ChatGPT. They work super nice. So if you are using ChatGPT to create a 700 keywords article, they will definitely identify it as being generated by AI. But if you are only using AI in the process as an assistant, and you are actually writing the words with your own hand, or you have some phrases completed by added by the AI, the result is not identifiable from our tests that we've conducted until now. And I would also emphasize that there are some very big websites from US, such as New York Times and Bloomberg, that publicly said and are publicly putting a disclaimer on articles that are fully written by AI. So I would expect this not to be a problem if used appropriately. Of course, there will be people that will try to use this to really mass produce content, and they will be no doubt penalized by Google.
That's very interesting. So we should.
And I can actually explain you how this works if this is something interesting for your audience. How a tool can identify if a text is created by an AI or not.
Okay,
it's
how?
Actually, pretty simple. It's the same principle that applies to chess. Do you know if we are playing chess right now online? There is a way for you to know if I am cheating or not. Even though I can have a full an additional monitor here for an AI to tell me what will be the next move. The thing is that this chess engine will always suggest me the best possible move.
Okay.
And if you have also an AI that will analyze my moves, it will alert you that, okay, your partner is always doing the best move. So this is not something that a human being can do. This is the same with the AI generated text. They are using based on probabilities. Each word has a specific probability to came after the previous one. This is how they are generating them. So if I analyze a text and I can see that after the 100 keyword, all of them are coming in the best possible way, that is an absolute tip, indication that text was generated by an AI.
Yeah, actually, it's a mathematical formula behind.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
This is the way they are detecting it. Okay. Can you one second? I have we already answered a few questions, so I'm trying to. Okay. What about in your opinion, what are some of the most promising AI-driven SEO technologies that are currently developed? You know about our tool, but let's not talk too much about it. But what do you think in this area? What are the most promising AI-driven SEO technologies that will impact the future?
I would say that the tools that focus on content are definitely one specific category, and we will see a very big development in this direction. Those tools will get smarter and smarter, and will be able to assist copywriters in their work, or even to create new content starting only from a keyword. And I would mention here tools as copy.ai or writesonic.com that we had the chance, and of course the old Jasper, I don't know how it's called right now. It was Jarvis. I think now it's Jasper.
Now it's Jasper.
Now it's Jasper, yes. Those are some of the tools that I think are doing a good job. They've worked on their proprietary systems, and I think they will evolve a lot in the next in the coming months or in the coming years.
Okay, one question though. A lot of people, because aysa.ai, as you know, is focused on automating processes, not only content generation. So we are looking to automate keyword research, competitor research, technical SEO, and part of offsite SEO. A question that I had during my participation in the Founders Institute Accelerator, pre-accelerator, I got this question. Do you think SEO can be automated? And of course, I said yes, because I really believe this. But what do you think?
parts of the SEO are being automated for ages right now. I mean, for example, parts of creating smart meta descriptions. If you are at least have a small experience in SEO, you will definitely try to automate this aspect of it. You will try to build formulas that are aware of the category, or are aware of the type of the page that they are on, so on and so forth, in order to dynamically generate relevant meta descriptions. Also, some of the things that are easily and have been during the time automated in some degree are the keyword suggestion tools, or keyword suggestion activity, or keyword research activity, where starting from a seed keyword or a seed set of keywords, there are a lot of tools that can provide you with more or less relevant keywords on the same intent. Also, in terms of technical SEO, there are automated checks that you can do in order to make sure that your website is not, from a mistake, from an error, from a developer, is not under some kind of problem that prevents Google from accessing it. So definitely SEO, it's a space where automation has its own, has a lot of added value, and has been in the industry and will continue to be part of the industry.
I really hope so, because our solution is focused on that. It's not focused on black hat SEO or gray or whatever. So we are really trying to respect all the Google guidelines and everything. So at this moment, we were able to automate an average of 60% of SEO processes. So I really think we are on a good track. Also, our generated texts are not detected as AI written text, even though we are using AI, but we alter them, and we use previous data in our own trained model to rewrite the text. So this is very, very good. In terms of e-commerce, because my as you know, is dedicated to e-commerce, especially to Magento, Shopify, and WordPress. How should we approach one-page SEO for an e-commerce website? Because I'm sure a lot of people are doing a lot of things, but when you have an e-commerce website with a lot of information, with thousands, tens of thousands of pages, how do you approach? Is automation, like entering, like you said, automatically description based on a certain formula, is a good idea? How should we approach this?
So from my experience, the biggest challenge that there are big websites and small websites, different problems and different challenges. As you mentioned, tens of thousands of pages. I would say that's a rather big website, where the main challenge there will be to get the pages indexed in Google, to make the crawler, the Google bot, to actually go and check each and every product page. Even more than this is the case when most of those products, most of this inventory, it's basically based on some product feeds from your suppliers. So you can find all those products on other websites also. This will be the main challenge. For example, I will give you, if you have a bookshop that sells tens of thousands of books, there are a lot of other websites that are selling the same books, and you have to be very creative on having Google actually going on each and every website page of yours to index it. And of course, you can employ a lot of tactics here, starting from your website structure, just to mention the on-site things. So you have to have a very good category and subcategory tree there. You have to have good and indexable filters for some kind of search intents. You can also build indexes with authors, with years of publication, with publishing houses, and so on and so forth. And of course, a lot of internal linking in the product pages. So in one product page, you have to link to similar books, books from the same publishing house, books from the same author, and so on and so forth. Then, of course, you have to build, in my opinion, a very coherent set of sitemaps and to submit them to Google Search Console. And if you are tech savvy, to also implement the indexing API from Google, so that new content you are publishing on the website to be pushed directly to Google for indexation as soon as possible. In terms of actual SEO, on-page SEO, then I would say it's one aspect is the technical part and one aspect is the content part. From a technical perspective, I think there are 5 or 6 really important things that you have to do. But other than this, it's nice to have. So Google will forgive you if you are not following all those 100 things that you can have to check. But from a content perspective, this will be the biggest challenge: how to improve each and every page of yours to be to offer some kind of unique information, unique content to the user. And for example, in industries, like I said, in the bookshops, in the auto parts, where you have very big websites with a lot of pages, with products that are basically the same on each and every website in the industry, this is super challenging. And this is where the automation of the processes really helps you and can add a lot of value.
Actually, that's why I asked, because a big part of our automation is focused on this, because we studied a lot of websites that they have only this kind of formula where they put the title of the page combined with short description from I don't know, the first 20 keywords from the description in the page, from the content in the page, and so on. So that content is not very well built in order for Google to take it in consideration and to rank for it. Also, one thing that you mentioned, this kind of content that is important through feeds, they have a lot of duplicate content because the title, because this duplicate content on site, because also some of them are generating for different sizes the same title. They are not using different title and so on. So they have a huge problem there. Our tool is addressing all these kind of problems and is trying to solve everything. Until this moment, it works. We'll see when we'll start launching the websites. In terms of how you as a professional and also your agency, how do you keep up with the latest trends in SEO and algorithm updates? There are more than 4,500 updates each year only at Google. How can you keep up with all this?
To be honest, we don't. I mean, we don't keep up with all those updates you mentioned. Our most important source of information is the official Google for Webmasters Twitter channel that that they usually announce when there is a big update. For example, I think the last ones were in December, and before that in August, something like this. The core updates or the useful content update, the spam link update. But these are probably 4 or 5 or 6 per year. So not such a huge number of updates. Other than this, also for those updates in the last years, there are not really fundamental things that change. You can definitely not be super aware. You don't have to change something in your strategy when Google is releasing an update. Usually, you just have to keep your focus on building content for your target audience, or having your website to load fast and having your website to offer a good user experience. And okay, Google will do some updates. Probably some of the links that you have built will not have the same value in the future. But other than this, it's super hard to take radical decisions after an update. It's almost impossible.
It's a very, very good advice. Actually, you know that is about tool, and I used it a lot of times. Now, actually, Google is identifying by itself the harmful links. This is amazing because I, during my previous business, FlorideLux.ro, I worked a lot of time on these harmful websites, links that were coming from different websites that were very, very harmful, and Google was taking those in consideration. Now you just you can relax in terms of this because Google is detecting automatically those websites and is not taking in consideration those links. Can you share with us some information regarding the impact of helpful update that happened last year in December on your clients? Have you seen some major changes?
So we are working with major clients in health industry, with pharmacies, with clinics, and with medical content websites. The biggest change that we've seen in this context was not necessarily a change, but rather an acceleration of a trend that we've noticed also previously. And I'm talking here about specifically about the fact that on a certain topics, if you had multiple articles built on that topic, there are only 2 or 3 articles that are actually getting traffic. Other than this, you can write tens of articles on a specific topic. Most of the times they will simply not rank for anything. The main articles and the ones that are most developed will get all the traffic. And I think it's super hard to give very specific observations, but our feeling in the agency and in the teams that are managing this type of projects is that this trend accelerated, and Google is focusing more and more on the first top 1% of the content. I mean, you can build a lot of content, and probably this goes hand in hand with the new AI generated content wave that will come. You can generate tons of content, but only the top 1% or the top 5% of your content will actually get the traffic.
Yeah, this is, I think, the term TFE-IDFE. It's a form behind that. It's a formula behind, and it identifies the text that is the most relevant to the topic, and it will be a trend in order to reduce also the number of the pages, because actually from economical point of view, from economical point of view, ecological point of view, everything that happens. Imagine that Google, when it's searching, it's crawling your website, I don't know, 20 pages instead of 2,000 pages. The consumptions, the electricity, and everything, it's much lower. So actually, I think it's also a very interesting component there in terms of ecological.
That's why the crawling budget will be more and more important, because you will have to be very diligent with what content you are providing to Google for indexation and for crawling and for recrawling. That's why for the big websites, the big e-commerce websites, they will have this problem more and more of actually having the pages indexed by Google.
Yeah. Actually, the indexation rate is lower now than in the past. This is something that changed also, because we were talking about last 5 years. I have seen a lower rate of indexation for content than in the past. Of course, the content that is relevant and gets a lot of signals from social networks and also other big players, it's indexed very quickly and is pushed in front of Google. Okay, can you tell us a few mistakes, like the top 3 mistakes you have seen in your clients? This is actually the initial question was, okay, let's talk about funny things in SEO, but let's talk about the mistakes. Top 3.
I would say that one of the most frequent the ones is focusing on very few and specific keywords. we still have a lot of discussions with brands that are coming and say, okay, these are my top 5 keywords that I want to rank for. This is the only thing that interests me. And I want for those keywords to be on the first position or on the top 3 or something like this. This, I think, it's a very big mistake, at least from 2 perspectives. First one, from an economical point of view, you are missing out a lot of other search keywords that people are using to search. And secondly, you are exposing yourself to a Google penalty, because it will be impossible not to identify the efforts that are super targeted and focused on those specific keywords. Those efforts will definitely came up on Google's radar, and your efforts will be either ignored or you will get penalized. Another mistake that I frequently see, it's focusing a lot of quantity. And we've discussed previously, either we are talking about content quantity, so they want a lot of articles, tens of articles if possible, to be posted every week, every month, hoping that some of them will get better, good rankings on Google. Usually this puts a lot of pressure on the editorial team that has to come up with a lot of titles, with a lot of topics. Some of them don't even make sense, and the whole website just seems like a very big trash can with content created just for keywords and for ranking. So I would advise to focus on a lower number of articles, but with very specific search intents in mind. And a third mistake, if I may continue with this, I think will be to ignore the user experience. And I'm not talking about only the KPIs that Google is showing on Google Search Console. And by the way, those KPIs are super ignored by a lot of people that I've seen. But also the experience, you can check yourself if you are browsing your website as a client, as a potential client. A lot of entrepreneurs or a lot of business owners are super attached to their website, are sentimentally attached to their websites. Even they built their websites their own, or they are based on their ideas, and they are simply ignoring how people are actually interacting with the website. If you go to them and tell, okay, people are leaving this page because they don't understand it, and you show them a lot of information to support that claim, there are still a lot of people that will say, okay, they are stupid because they don't understand. Okay, look how clear it's everything. I can't do anything about this. So I would rank this as a third mistake, ignoring the user experience.
Yeah, actually, this is something that was valid before, but now Google is taking more and more in consideration these facts, and actually the websites that are doing this are getting less and less traffic. What will be the biggest failure and the biggest success you had in all your professional career in terms of in relation with SEO, of course?
Okay, the biggest success. I think the biggest success for me personally, and in terms of this type of my professional life, is actually being able to build this awesome team and to have these people around me that I can really trust, can go and have a meeting with a client, can deliver a technical audit without me having to check in it, deliver an analysis, and so on and so forth. In terms of a brand or a client that I'm super proud of the evolution they had on SEO under our watch, there are a lot of ones that I can mention. I don't know, drmax.ro, MedLife, Sensiblue, Epantofi, a lot of brands that I am very proud of their evolution based on the activity that my team put into these projects. As failures, I think might be a failure if I would have thought about this in this way is that in all those 10 years of actually working directly in the industry, I wasn't able to actually build a dedicated tool or a standalone tool that can be also passed on to other users. We build a lot of things to help us improve our internal workflows, but are more like internal tools, internal small automations, but not something that can be sold as a product to someone else, let's say, or something like this.
Okay. Very interesting. Actually, that's why I started this tool, because in the past I was dealing with e-commerce, with daily tasks related to fulfillment of the orders, taking orders, fighting for clients, fighting with clients, and so on. And I decided to go into an area where a SaaS business where I can build a product that can benefit thousands of people, maybe 10 of thousands. I hope so. Okay, do you have some recommendations in terms of some books? You can give us the list after the podcast. But if you have something now, you feel free to mention.
To be honest, I don't really read business books. I kind of read the classics. I read classic authors. I read a lot of autobiographies. For example, one of the last books I read was the autobiography of Andre Agassi, the tennis player. And that really helped me to understand a lot of things about motivation, a lot of things about how you can dose your energy and to focus on important moments in your life. Right now, I'm reading the biography of Angela Merkel. So a lot of things that I think are unrelated with my day-by-day activities. It's probably also a way of keeping my mind sane, balanced. Yes.
Thank you. We will write them in the description of the video. Now, on a personal note, can you tell us something in relation with SEO that influenced your personal life? Now I'm talking about the way you are shopping, or the way you are seeing the results pages, or I don't know, if you go to a place and you found some information on the websites that are not real, or things like that. Can you tell us something about this?
I remember that I was out in the city one evening, and I've seen a blackboard next to a shop that I think there was something related to flowers, and that the Bucharest a bit, was on Maica Domnului Street, and was a flower shop that had, here we have flowers, and he was using a keyword stuffing on that blackboard. I think I can find the picture and we can put it, insert it in the video or something like this. But it was super, like, it was, look, this text was written by an SEO guy. I mean, it was so...
that was spam.
Yes, but it was on a blackboard on the sidewalk. Other than this, I wouldn't say that, or I'm probably not aware. I'm not conscious. I'm not aware of the fact on how this influenced my behavior, but I can definitely make the difference between paid ads and organic results. I can definitely take a look in the organic results for what I see as unexpected result. For example, if I'm looking, okay, this looks like small website, why is he here among all those brands on the first page? This is the kind of things that spark some interest in me, and I would say it's directly related to the professional activity that I have.
Okay, thank you, Mihai. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed our chat, and I hope the visitors they will enjoy, the users will enjoy our small chat, and they have found the interesting information. If you have something to add, let's wrap it up.
I can't wait to be invited in the beta version of AYSA, and just hoping to have a more predictable year, 2023 to be a more predictable year than the previous ones.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
That would be.
As a side note, Digital Workforce is one of our beta testers. They will test our solution inside the e-commerce stores they have. Of course, we'll choose very careful not to impact the client, to impact the client only positive, of course. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
It's my pleasure, Marius, and hope to get invited also again in the future.
Of course. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Ciao.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.